Statistics is a branch of mathematics that deals with collecting, organizing, and interpreting data to address a certain phenomenon. In studying statistics, there are some basic concepts that we need to be familiar, and one of it is a population. It is the set of all data under study. Like for instance, if you want to know the favorite food of Filipinos, so our population is the number of Filipinos. So as of now, we have more than 100 million Filipinos in the world. So you are going to ask each of them about their favorite food. So you're going to conduct a survey. So if it is impractical to do it in a very large population like this, a sample from the population is used. It is the set of data drawn from the population. So it means just a few number of Filipinos to us that represents the entire Filipinos. Now, how do we know the number of samples that is adequate to represent the entire Philippines, to represent more than 100 million Filipinos? A Slobin's formula is used to determine an adequate sample or number of samples to be used in a population. And the equation is n is equal to capital N over 1 plus capital N times E squared, wherein this small letter n represents the number of samples, the capital letter N represents the total population, and this E represents the margin of error. So let us take an example. Let's say Dr. Bryce Ezekiel is doing a research and plans to conduct a survey in a city consists of 712,098 population. Find the sample size if he wants to use 10% as the margin of error. So first, lay down the formula, then identify these variables. So this n is the sample, and that's what we're trying to find out. Capital N is the population, and E is the margin of error, 10% or 0.10 in decimal. So just substitute this given in our formula, compute, and the sample size is 99.98, and to round up, that is 100. So example number 2. IPSJ is composed of 800 students. Find the sample size with a 5% margin of error. So same process, lay down the formula, then write the given of these variables from our given example. So the total population is 800, and the margin of error is 5% or 0.05 in decimal. Just substitute from our formula, compute, and the sample size for this number of population in 5% margin of error is 267. There are two main branches in statistics. One of it is descriptive statistics and the inferential statistics. Descriptive means it is a branch of statistics that summarizes and describes. So from the name itself, descriptive, it describes the important characteristic of the population or a sample. While inferential statistics, from the word infer, it means to deduce or to make a conclusion, to make a prediction or decisions about the characteristic of a population by just simply looking at the information contained in a sample. So let us consider this given. Let's say there's a study regarding the drink preference of 100 randomly chosen students in IPSJ through a survey that consists of 7 different drinks. So this is how a descriptive statistics is shown. This is the summary. So as you notice, you can see the categories of the drinks here. Then these are the number of students who prefer those drinks. So by just looking at this bar graph, you can easily describe the preferences and the characteristic of the population or sample. You can say that there are 20 students who prefer fruit. There are also 20 students who prefer water. While in inferential statistics, we are now making a conclusion. So from this survey, from this data, we are making a conclusion. Therefore, we can conclude that around 20% of the students in IPSJ, they prefer water. You can also say 20% of them also preferred fruits. Okay, so we are making a conclusion based from the sample. we are describing the whole population based from the sample. Okay, so the two types of data are ungrouped data and group data. Ungrouped data are simply the raw data taken from the survey, while group data, they were already organized, data presented in a form of frequency distribution. So going back to our previous given, so these are the raw data taken from the survey. So the first student preferred fruit juice. Same with the second student, while the third student preferred milk. Fourth student also preferred fruit, etc., etc. If we're going to arrange them in organized manner in a frequency distribution, this is how it looks like. The first column is the category of the fruit drink. Then the second column is the frequency on how many students prefer those drinks.